This is Ruth Lubecker back with you at Helen's Restaurant in Machias, and we welcome Linda Belfiore with us.
Hi, Ruth.
Hi. Linda, you've been in transportation with WHCA for a long time now, I know. What are some of the changes that you've seen happen? Of course, the need is growing. I'm sure that's happening.
Each year we do more trips with less resources. Our biggest problem was several years ago when the state cut our part of our rate by 30%. We were forced to reduce runs by our agency vehicles, one in Washington County and one in Ellsworth.
How many agency vehicles do we have?
Currently, we have 5 agency drivers. We have more vehicles because we use smaller ones when we can. 2 of them are located in Washington County, and 3 of them are in the Ellsworth and Bangor-Bucksport area.
Is there any chance that in the future, you know, as this need grows, that we could expand, WHCA could expand their transportation program?
Well, we have expanded it.
Yeah.
Several of the things that we've done, one of them would be to encourage our volunteer drivers to drive more. That certainly helps. We also encourage people who receive the main care through the state to give us a call, because they are entitled to currently 22 cents a mile if they take a friend or family member. This is especially important for older folks who don't drive anymore, who may have a friend who can't afford the gas but who would take them if they could. So this is one way that we've expanded over the past couple of years.
Do you have quite a few of those drivers with their own vehicles?
Yes, we do.
You do?
And they only take themselves or their family or friends.
We know that we've always done more with less down here in Down East Maine, but it becomes an especially critical problem when the need grows and the dollars shrink, so to speak. So looking ahead to this, especially with what's happening in transportation in Maine, what is the answer for like 5 years from now, when we're going to have so many more old people?
Yes. One of the things that we're doing is working with the national organization, Community Transportation Association of America, who several years ago put a wonderful piece together on the benefits of non-emergency transportation for Medicare. And that's our elderly population. So we're working with that. We're also working with towns. They've been very generous in supporting us. We not only have their money to take the elderly who don't have main care to medical appointments, but in return for their donation, so to speak, the federal Medicaid program gives us almost a 2-to-1 match these days.
Now we know, we've been told for years that public transportation or public transportation system is not feasible in Washington County for obvious reasons. We're so far flung, so spread out. But what about a network of private buses like West Bus service, for instance? I know that many of our elderly use West Bus, but we don't have very many of those. In other words, is there any chance that WHCA could form a partnership with a private concern like West?
Well, there's always that possibility, but most of the dollars that come down from the federal government, and in most cases the state government, require that it be a nonprofit organization. And unfortunately, organizations such as West are for-profit, so that does make a difference there. However, we are trying to look at public transportation in non-traditional terms. For example, we have the Helping Hands Garage program, where we take donated vehicles, fix them, and sell them to low-income folks who are working, who need a vehicle at a very low interest rate. We are working now on a partnership actually with the federal government through the state to double the amount of money that we have for that program. And what it does is give more people vehicles, and in turn we're asking them, when they get a vehicle, to be willing to sign up for the rideshare program, so that in effect they are taking somebody else, hopefully, and it will be public transportation.
Now, the best that we can say, I guess, Linda, if any elderly who need transportation are watching this program, for instance, they should be in touch with you or in touch with WHCA?
Yes.
That's the best way to go?
Yeah, they can call several different numbers for information, 546-7544, that's 664-2424, and we're number 1 on the list, I believe, still. Otherwise, they can go online to WHCACAP.org and get some information there, so that there's information around if they would like to.
What would you like to see that you don't have now? I mean, you've been in the transportation picture long enough. How would you make things a little bit better?
Well, aside from more volunteers, which we desperately need, currently paying 44 cents a mile, I will say.
That's good.
And that's very good. It was 30 cents not too many months ago. What I'd like to see is to work with the Passamaquoddy tribes, each of whom have public transportation routes that we currently use and support, and the other area organizations that might have vehicles that aren't used all the time, and see if we can't work together in a collaborative spirit to get the job done.
Well, it's partnerships personified again. I mean, partnerships is definitely the wave of the future.
Absolutely.
Down here, it really is. This is Ruth Lubecker at Helen's Restaurant. We'll be right back.